Alright, we're checking out a fishing spot today. Still pretty early to try and fish right now, but we're just scoping it out, doing a little test stream, kind of. It's always pretty wet out here. This ground always seems to be pretty saturated. Hopefully we can get around this thing. Hopefully I can get around this little part right here without sinking. Okay, feet are wet already. Let's check our... Okay. Stream looks pretty good right now. So here's our information. Difference between a smallie and a largemouth. Fishermen should know that. And then this is the general fishing, what kind of fish and what you can take. What's in here? Bass, bluegill, catfish, crappie. Don't think muskie. Pike. I think there is some pike in here. Walleye, perch. We'll see how it is this year. So here's one of our little fishing spots right here, off of this shoreline. It's nice to be able to walk out a little bit into the water with some wader boots or something. And the shoreline is good. Pretty much the entire shoreline of this thing on this side. So let's see how wet it is, and if we're going to be able to make it around. It's already looking pretty wet here. This could be tricky. It's got a little like jut out kind of thing right there with the little point. It's got some good fishing off that point. Just kind of doing a walk around right now. You can find snakes in here. There are coyote in here, but you won't see them during the day, and you won't really see them at night. You'll hear them, but they won't come near you. I don't know if I've ever seen a deer over here, but they could be around. Actually, I think I have seen them. I've seen them up here Like they probably, in those backwoods there is probably where they originate, because there's a bigger part of woods back there. Oh man, it's always muddy in these things. Just the way the ground is in these places all the time. It always stays saturated for some reason. I don't know why. As you can see, we're right in a industrial area. Because you're never too far from civilization. There's some geese. They already spotted me though. Yeah, man, I wish these camera buttons weren't so dark. There they go. Watch your eyes here, because I'm walking around and zoomed in right now. Here's our first wildlife of the day. There's a lot of geese around here. It's a little cold today. Might be like around 40. So the water temperature is still not going to be where you want it. And that 55, I think, is it 55 or is it 65 when the bite starts? It's a little drier here. We're gonna try and get around all the way around this right side. See how far we can get. I'm pretty sure any kind of wildlife, like the coyote and the deer, they're all back in there. Because there's dense woods back there. But this close to the shoreline here is all saturated. Let's go up here. Get on this higher trail. This is wet too. Looks like our bit rate is struggling a little bit. So we'll see how it is. So that's one of the things we're checking out here. Yeah, that bit rate is not very good in these places. Especially if you're moving around. Let's see if we can get around this mushy part right here. Definitely gonna get wet though. I really need to come up with some better shoes. There's some train tracks just to the right of us. Let's see. Yeah, our bit rate is pretty poor right now. There's a cell tower right here, and yet our bit rate is still not that good. So at least there's dishes on the tower, but I would hope that it's got cell on it, but it's not helping us. So our bit rate's pretty terrible. Once you get away from the residential, I'm gonna go up on this higher trail, see if I can get around some of this wet ground. Even up here it's wet. There's a train going by. Whew. Be careful, train. That's all I gotta say. The way these trains are going right now. So, looks like our #1 priority right now is to get ourselves some better shoes that the water doesn't get through. I don't think the water would get through these that easily. In the summer we got waterproof shoes, but you still get wet. They're just waterproof, meaning they don't get ruined when they get wet. And these shoes, I think, are supposed to be the same type thing, but the water still gets through. They just don't get ruined, hopefully. So we're coming around to this one spot I wanted to check out. This water just ain't cutting it. So again, we'll be uploading this to YouTube. Okay, let's cut across here. It's mushy here. So this is really as far as we go. When we go around this side, we go to this this drainage here where the water drains in. This is a good fishing spot here though, because I think it's a little bit deeper here in this section. So that's that thing. It's a good spot to find snakes too, because a lot of times they'll end up in that drain. We've actually rescued snakes out of that hole with like a fishing line. My nephew actually has, I think he still might have one of them in a tank. It's pretty much garter snakes though. But I think there are other types of snakes out here. So you see we're still in a, you know, a manufacturing type area. A lot of these are new. They just keep popping up everywhere. Not really much alive right now, except these cattails. Don't usually go further than this, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go around into here. You can't really get through on the shoreline over here. There's hardly any geese around. But I've never been back further into these woods, because this is like a forest preserve area. I don't think I've ever been back further in here. Let's see what's in there. I'm gonna walk up this hill over here, see what it looks like. It's nice to be able to go into the woods and not really worry about any predators, because the biggest thing you're gonna see is a coyote. And they won't normally approach. So it looks like we can get around that way. I just want to get a good view up here. Because back through these woods, there's other lakes and stuff when you go further this way. But they're not really in walking distance from here. Let's test out the zoom on this bird. I guess it's a blackbird. Can we zoom this in more? I'm not exactly sure what this zoom is. It's pretty quiet. I don't know what that is over there. Go across this high part right here. See what we can see. Let's get that big camera back on. Bit rate's pretty low in here though. Once you get back into these woods, so that's going to be a problem if we want to fish back here. It's kind of a trail going back that way, but I'm trying to think what's in that direction over there. Let's get in a little closer. It's like train stuff. That said it was 8x. But I thought this camera had 100 times zoom on it. Maybe I'm thinking of the S23. But I thought this had a pretty big zoom on it. But I don't know if you have to. I don't know. I'm not sure which camera it is. It's got the big zoom. So I've never come all the way around to the back before. Don't know how the fishing is back here. I don't know if I want to walk all the way around. Looked like a hawk just flew over. I didn't see it until it was already past me. Bit rate's pretty bad. So I don't know if I'll upload this one or not. So should we go around this way back to the front, or should we go back the way we came? Because I've never gone around this way before. We just need to get back over there by that white building. I guess we can keep going this way. We'll just stay on the high road. I think if we stay on the high road and go around, it should be fairly dry. It's overcast, so there's a chance we could see a deer. There isn't really any cover over here. I would imagine they're gonna be back in there. So let's see if our bit rate improves when we get closer to the road. Even though there was a cell tower back there, didn't seem to do anything for us. kind of wet. I don't know if this is actually faster than going back the way we came or not, because we got to go all the way around this this point over here. Could put a workout tag on this channel too. It's kind of a workout. At least for me it is. Especially when you're walking through soft terrain. I don't know what that is right there by the shoreline. I guess it's just a log, but it kind of looks like a deer with antlers, but it wouldn't be standing there. Let's see if we can see it. It wouldn't just be standing there. No one fishing out here, so they pretty much know it's too early. You really need to get up into the into the 60s for this water to really warm up. Some motorbikes. I didn't catch them in time. Just trying to go for the zoom lens. It wasn't quick enough though. This is pretty rough walking in here with this soft ground. It kind of makes sense to just make a gravel path around this thing. There's someone over there. I don't know if he's fishing. I thought I recognized a truck over there as one of the regulars, though. But this is kind of like transition between ice fishing and spring fishing. For some reason, the fish will bite through the ice, but once the ice is off, then there's kind of a non-bite before the water warms up. Hopefully we can get through here. I don't know how big this lake is, but it's not huge. Might be like a mile around. So I don't know how many acres that is. Might be, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 acres. I don't know how that works. I have to look it up. Yeah, I mean, if they're to pour some gravel down here, just run a nice gravel path all the way around this thing. That would be good. This shoreline isn't really all too accessible when you're fishing unless you have wader boots on or something. There's just some spots you can get to the shoreline without getting wet. But you can't really walk in wader boots or waders. Pretty hard. So it looks like we'll have to let our shoes dry when we get home. I was lucky to be able to get out today because my garage door broke. Thing wouldn't open because the big spring broke and the cables were just hanging there. That holds the door up, that helps the garage door opener. So I had to get lucky we got that fixed earlier. It's big bucks getting stuff fixed now. Any kind of thing you want to get fixed in your house, it's crazy expensive now, even though the parts themselves are relatively cheap. So we're almost back to the front area. I'm kind of running out of gas. Lucky I got that little can of Dr. Pepper. I remembered to bring something to drink today. So I'm not I'm not a pro IRL streamer yet where I can walk for 8 hours. Got to build up to that. I'm not as young as most of the streamers. They got a big advantage on me there. It's getting mushy here, but we're coming to the gravel trail. I mean, our shoes are already wet, so let's try and walk the center part. Try not to get too more soaked. Now, got stuck there. See, technically, you could fish off of some of these shorelines over here. You're still gonna get wet though. Let's get back to this gravel. Could possibly even do another stream a little bit later today, depending on the Bass Boys, if they're gonna go out and try and fish somewhere. Because that's gonna be our fishing partners when fishing season starts. Bass Boys on YouTube. So I think there's a cut through to the car, but I think we're just going to stay on the gravel because our feet are wet enough already. Those geese came back to their spot after I left. To their little spot on that point over there. Glasses are all darkened up, even though it's overcast, there's no sun. I keep talking about how these transition lenses, when it's cold, they just get dark. See, I don't really want to walk through that mush, do I? But I could, because I'm running out of steam here. There's a goose doing a flyby. I'm doing pretty good on battery. I think we're gonna wrap it up here, so like I said, I'll be uploading this to YouTube, same name. And then we'll continue to do these little kind of test scoping out spots until it gets warm enough to fish, and then hopefully we'll be doing some a little more serious fishing streams and other stuff. Hoping to do some snake hunting. Not hunting the snakes, but just finding them, because I know some spots. I know some good spots where there's some pretty cool snakes you can find. Be doing that. Whatever else we can think of.